Hey guys, Dark Skeleton here, and today I wanted to talk about GvG again. My experiences and afterthoughts now that things have settled down just a tad, and it's day 2 of GvG. I didn't really play too much ranked play, just kind of sitting at ranked 15 at the moment. Although I'm sure I'll be able to climb more ranks with my priest deck, it's working pretty well out. And it's very much based on the classic control priest style, which is proven to have worked in the first place. So I was playing a couple games earlier with one of my RL friends, and he was running the Demon Warlock that people have somewhat speculated on now that you have Mal'Ganis as an option, and there's also some cool cards like Floating Watcher, and to a lesser extent Mistress of Pain. He wasn't running that, but Mistress of Pain plus Fellheart might be pretty good? I don't know. And it was interesting because, you know, Zoo decks have traditionally been very strong. Firebat used it to pretty much dominate the World Championship, which was pretty intense to say the least. So I know everybody and their mother is trying to make mech decks work at the moment, but have any of you actually went ahead and seen some of these Demon Zoo decks? Because Floating Watcher was actually very, very strong in Arena. It's what got me a 12-win Arena run before GvG even officially came out. And now that I see it in Constructed, if it can live on the field for one turn, that's a really big deal. And in a Demon Zoo, you have Flame Imps, which can hit your own face and actually buff those guys up. Same with Pit Lords, though playing a Pit Lord is extremely risky. But in exchange for all their drawbacks, you do get immense power. Now, in previous versions of the game, like Naxxramas and Classic, you couldn't really go pure Demon because that was a surefire way to get yourself killed. But now that they have a few more Demon Synergy cards, especially the Void Caller being one of the big ones, and Mal'Ganis, which he wasn't actually playing Mal'Ganis, but I imagine it's insanely good if you actually have it and you're playing in a competitive deck. So these Demon Zoo decks, are they something that's really, really viable now, or is it going to perhaps even kick the classic Zoo out of the meta? I'm not sure about that. It's really way too early to say something like that. But the new Demon Zoo is pretty damn aggressive, and that's a big deal. The thing about Zoo cards is it's harder to AoE them down. Even if you do an Akanai Priest Circle of Healing, that doesn't kill a Doomguard, that doesn't kill a Dread Infernal, that doesn't kill a Pit Lord even, which is just a 4-mana minion. And if you're playing lesser AoEs like Blizzard or Holy Nova, it takes even more spells to get through them. And these decks, basically the idea is to overwhelm your opponent, that's what Zoo has always done, are kind of a bit scary. Now, one of the things that Warlock has always had over other aggressive classes like Warrior or Rogue is its life tap ability. So if you're not able to actually put on the pressure to the opponent Warlock, then even after a Pit Lord or after a Flame Imp or two, they might still have the HP remaining to tap for more card draw. If the game goes on long enough, then any player who has a Mal'Ganis would be able to plop that down on the board, and I imagine, yeah, a Zoo Demon Warlock, unless you really took care of their board with something like a Flame Strike, they're probably going to have at least a few creatures on board, and those creatures are all going to be demons. And demons get +2/+2 from Mal'Ganis, plus it makes his hero immune. Now this is all pure speculation, and I'm only sitting at rank 15 at the moment. I probably want to get to rank 10. Above that would be pretty cool this season. So, not a scrub, but not like Legend or anything like that. So, I don't know exactly how things work at the Legend side of things, but Demon is seemingly pretty strong right now, as is Murloc, as I mentioned the other day with Neptulon. These aggressive classes that can keep going after they've already put on a lot of pressure means you're always playing from behind against these classes. They're always going to board control you very hard. And that's a big deal, especially when you just come back with Neptulon for 4 Murlocs, or you life tap, in the case of Floating Watcher, not only to gain a card, but also to buff Floating Watcher even more. It's really tough to deal with. I imagine, of course, that the best class for dealing with these high health minions, where there's a lot of them, like Pit Lords, Doomguards, Dread Infernals, is probably going to be the Equality Consecration from a Paladin. But for everyone else, I kind of wonder. How do you beat that exactly? And now, it's not like I wasn't able to take a game or two off of my friend. He's not a competitive player, he's not playing a top-of-the-line demon deck. He was just throwing a couple of the new cards in, and making it demon-themed, but it was pretty scary. It was hard to deal with. There was a few moments, especially with those floating launchers, where I was just staring at my hand and was like, I have no answers to this. I just lose. He has a board that overwhelms me. I might have cards in my hand, but that's a bloody 6/6. I can't get at that. And then, of course, by leaving a floating watcher on the field, your opponent is just going to immediately life tap again, maybe throw down a Flame Imp and make it like a 10-7 or 12-10, something ridiculous like that. And once it gets to that point, you're just screwed. And one of the things that makes Floating Watcher even more special is that it's a have to deal with card. Unless you can immediately kill your opponent, that means you have to switch to board control, so if you're playing an aggressive deck versus Demon Zoo, that's going to be a big issue. If you can't take out that Floating Watcher, then you're going to have a real bad time. as they would say in South Park. You're gonna have a bad time. So that's just my thoughts for today. I'm sure in the next few days I'll have more decks to talk about as I go back into the ladder and play some more games and see what else other people are coming up with. I'm sure there's actually a lot of decks which are really good right now, that I may have just not discovered yet. So let me know what you think in the comments down below. Is Demon Warlock actually insanely strong for once? Voidcaller was a good addition in Naxxramas, but it wasn't enough to make most players really run it. It was still the classic Zoo or classic Handlock with some new Naxxramas cards, and that was pretty much it. But is Demon Zoo a thing? Let me know in the comments. I've been Dark Skeleton, and I'll see you all next time. Thanks for watching.